Number 8, the sunk cost bro. You are 1 hour into a terrible movie. You're miserable, bored, and basically watching out of spite at this point, but you convince yourself to finish it because you already spent an hour and feel too committed. This tiny moment of stubbornness is one of the most common thinking errors we fall for. This isn't sound logic, this is the sunk cost fallacy. Your brain is irrationally valuing the time you've already lost because it hates the idea of wasting anything. This is driven by a psychological quirk called loss aversion, where the pain of a losing feels twice as strong as the pleasure of gaining. That way of thinking is what keeps people in jobs that drain them, relationships that expired 6 months ago, or finishing meals they didn't even like. The next time you feel too invested to walk away, remember that doubling down on a loss doesn't turn it into a win, it just makes the loss longer. Number 7, the confirmation bro. You meet a new coworker and your first thought is that they seem a little arrogant. Now everything they do magically becomes evidence that you were right. The way they walk, the way they type, the way they breathe, you call it intuition. You tell everyone, I knew it, bro. I felt it from the beginning. But the scientific homies known as psychologists call it confirmation bias. Your brain is not a scientist running neutral experiments. It's a hype man lawyer who already picked a side and is building a case to prove your initial hunch was correct. Every time you find a detail that matches your theory, your brain gives you a tiny dopamine fist bump. The problem is you're not seeing the full picture. You're seeing the edited highlight reel your mind created to protect your ego. If you started with a different first impression, you'd probably discover a completely different person. That's the funny part. You're not reading people, you're reading your own expectations and nitpicking to validate yourself. Number 6, the main character, bro. You spilled coffee on yourself before walking into a room, and suddenly you feel like everyone is staring at you. Your anxiety shoots up like you're on stage under a literal spotlight with everyone judging you. This is your brain running the spotlight effect. Since you're actually the main character of your own universe, your mind assumes you're also the main character in everyone else's. The truth is, most people don't even clock your tiny mistakes because they're too busy worrying about their own imaginary audience. Psychologists have studied this, and the results show that barely anyone notices the thing you're panicking or worried about, because ironically, everyone is experiencing the same thing and worrying about the spotlight on them. So the next time you feel like an embarrassment, remember that you ain't that famous, little bro. Number 5, the expert newbie. You learn a new skill, watch a few YouTube videos, read a couple articles, and suddenly you feel like you could teach a masterclass on the subject. This isn't confidence. This is a cognitive glitch called the Dunning-Kruger effect, quietly hyping you up like a bad friend, where a little bit of knowledge makes you feel like a genius because you haven't yet seen the giant mountain of stuff you actually don't know. While the actual experts are sitting quietly in the corner, questioning and continuously learning because they are aware of the complexity of their field, your brain's confidence meter is delusionally miscalibrated. It makes beginners loud and masters humble. So the next time you think you understand everything after your third tutorial, just know your brain is giving you the Costco sample version of expertise. Number 4, the anchored shopper. You see a watch listed at $5,000, then you see it on sale for $250. You feel like you just found a steal and secured the deal of the century. You didn't save money, you really spent $250. Welcome to anchoring bias, where your brain latches onto the first number it sees and treats it as a reference point. That first price wasn't the real price, it was psychological bait, a tactical marketing technique. The marketing team basically whispered into your brain and set the anchor so everything else felt like a bargain. Your brain isn't calculating the actual value, it's comparing discounts and calculating the perceived value looking for any bargain. If they put $1 million price tag and then dropped it to 800, you probably feel like you robbed the store. So be safe out there, homies. Don't get played. Number 3, not my fault ever, bro. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you immediately assign them as an enemy of the world. They are selfish, reckless, a danger to all, the worst person alive. Then the very next day, you accidentally cut someone off, and suddenly you have a detailed list of excuses. You were tired, you were stressed, the sun was blinding you. This is the fundamental attribution error, where your brain loves judging other people by their personality while judging yourself by your situation. It's a cognitive double standard that protects your ego, making you the misunderstood hero of your own story while turning everyone else into villains. If you swapped perspectives for 2 seconds, you'd see the truth. Sometimes you're the villain in someone else's traffic story, too. Take some accountability, little homie. Number 2, that's karma, bro. You hear about something bad happening to someone, and a tiny part of your brain thinks that they must have done something wrong or they probably deserved it. This isn't you being cruel. This is a defense mechanism called the just world fallacy, trying to protect you by pretending the universe works like a fair rewards program. Your mind wants to believe that good things happen to good people and bad things only happen to bad people. It creates a false sense of safety. If I'm good, I'll be hood. But reality doesn't operate like that. And believing it makes you judge people who didn't deserve it and blinds you to randomness. Stop playing the victim, little bro. Rise up and grow. Number 1, short-term fortune teller. Your favorite team wins 3 games in a row, and now you're convinced they're destined for greatness. You completely forgot about the 10 losses right before that hot streak. Their record is 3 wins and 10 losses. This isn't you being oblivious. This is your brain running a recency bias. And it treats whatever just happened as the most important and only relevant thing. This is why one bad day can make you think your whole life is falling apart, or one good week makes you feel unstoppable. Your brain isn't seeing the big picture, it's recollecting the most recent information because it is easily accessible. The past gets blurry, the full picture disappears. You end up making predictions based on the last 5 minutes instead of the last 5 months. It's not intuition, it's short term amnesia with confidence. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, bro. Like and subscribe to see more.